Hello, and welcome to the Streets Never Forget podcast, Extra Streets.
Extra.
So today, I've got a bit more up-to-date one for you. It's not so much, older players. It's a modern discussion for this one. Who do you think would be better in the current Premier League? If they came to the Premier League, who would perform better? Mbappe or Haaland?
I'll start with this one, I reckon. I think if both players came, I think they would do very well. I think Mbappe, with his pace and his strength and his skill, would rip the place apart. I think that's quite easy to see. But for me, I'd love to see Haaland in the Premier League, and I do think he'd probably suit it better because of his strength, of his height, of his ability not only to hold the ball up, head balls, win headers. He's absolutely electric as well. I mean, there's that clip of him in the Champions League clearing a header from his own box and absolutely yeeting it to the other side of the pitch. He's a player built for the Premier League with his strength and his skill.
Rob?
First off, good evening, mate. If I'm going to, again, tricky one. Both, two of Europe's brightest prospects. Well, we say prospects. Mbappe's already a World Cup winner.
Oh, exactly. He's already established.
Already played in a Champions League final. You're getting two quality players, aren't you? I think both. Obviously, the Premier League's different, isn't it? Everyone talks about the reality is the Premier League's in football in England is a lot more physical. It's a lot more strength based. But I think we've seen players flourish under that, and we've seen players crumble. But I think you've got two players there who would flourish. I think that Mbappe, he's got that absolutely lightning speed, hasn't he? He's going to get by. He can leave a defender standing. He can leave them for dead, and he's got that finishing, hasn't he? He's cool. He's composed. He can handle the pressure. He's already shown that. So I think he'd be a great addition. And then Haaland, I think you've got the same. I mean, you've got a player 6'4" who's turned it up for Mulder, and was it Red Bull Salzburg, I think, in the Austrian league, and then he's now doing it at Borussia Dortmund. And he's scoring goals for fun. He's scoring goals for fun in the Champions League. I think last time I looked, what was it, like 6 in 6 or 7 in 7? So absolutely an unbelievable record. But I think if it was my personal preference, who I'd rather see, I think I'd probably go for Mbappe, simply because, like, don't get me wrong, I think if Haaland came to the Premier League, he'd be up there as one of the very best. But I think Mbappe, I just think he's got the way he burst onto the scene, the way he was one of the golden boys at the World Cup, wasn't he? The way he'd score goals, the goals he'd score. The goals he'd scored for PSG, I've seen him go to the new camp recently in the Champions League and smashing a hat-trick against, what is it, a Barcelona side who were nowhere near the force they were, but still an incredible achievement. And I think for me, he'd do amazing job in the Premier League. I think he's got that lightning pace you see with Jamie Vardy, which would absolutely terrify defenders. He's got that skill, which would absolutely terrify defenders, and he's got that finishing ability, which again would terrorise defenders. So I think for me, it's going to be Mbappe.
Yeah, I think Mbappe's got the finishing of Ricky Lambert and the skill of Nico Kranjčar for me.
Combined together, you've got a player there.
You've got the best player.
Are definitely going to remember.
Yeah, maybe if Kranjčar and Lambert had played together, we would have
Who knows?
the best of both of them.
We'd see a lamb jar.
A lamb jar, exactly. So I guess I've got deciding opinion on this. Both incredible players. Yeah, I agree with both. You having either of them in the Premier League. I think Mbappe personally would fit really well. Like what you said, more really, in the Vardy role, the way Vardy does things. Imagine having Mbappe doing that. 10 years younger, 15 years younger than him, whatever it is between that. I think that's it'd be incredible. But for me, it's Haaland. I just think such a talent. Not that Mbappe isn't, but you watch him and he's so keen to get on the ball. He's so keen to play.
He's so passionate.
He's so involved. He
just loves football.
I mean, I saw something the other day with him saying that he was getting old.
He's only 22, isn't he?
20,
Something like
I think 20 might be 23. I'm not
23.
sure. But
This
someone
Haaland, I think he's 21. I don't even think he's that old.
is he?
Well,
Yeah.
he was 19 when he played for Red Bull Salzburg. So I reckon he's 21. He's not.
Let's have a little look.
He's not 23. He's not old at all.
Oh God, he's 20.
There you
Jeez.
Yeah, I
Well,
did-
I
I
mean,
did-
that speaks volumes as well. You know, he's
Yeah.
got the maturity as well.
Well, he's
Well, I
only
mean-
going to get better, isn't he? Is both players, the two players who are only ever going to get better. But obviously, you have to look at it and see. We've seen players who've had that potential, but who've never played in the Premier League. You've seen, are their dreams Real Madrid and Barcelona, or are their dreams to play in, well, certainly what I would say a good majority would deem the best league in the world in the Premier League. And then you've got, can teams afford them? Well, probably only really
Probably
Man City have got the funds, haven't they, to use that to generate the sort of cash that it'd take to lure him away. But yeah, for me obviously Mbappe, but two absolutely fantastic players.
Finally, before we finish, let's not forget that Haaland was born in Leeds. So him and Rafinha, I'm saying they could be a force, couldn't they?
Get him in. Get him
and
in.
Bamford, I don't know. Would Bamford bench him?
Oh, I think Bamford would keep him out the side.
Exactly, I totally agree. Right, thank you very much again, both for joining me. We'll see you again next time.
No worries, mate. See you later,
Cheers,
mate.
boys.